It's a weekend and a shard event. Surprise! Hello, everyone. Bront, CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends, and we are here on my main account. We have a bunch of shards to pull, and we have a glowing yellow portal. And we, of course, have the Summon Rush for the Doggo. We are going for CatHerder, the Throat Ripper. He is an absolutely amazing looking champion. He is going to be a lot of fun to pair with my Shayak, who is fully built already. Although certainly I'll probably need to revise his build for whatever I'm going to use him for on this particular build. So should be very interesting though, but I am definitely looking forward to building myself a cute little doggy, and he will be amazing on this account. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So we have the Summon Rush here, and the Summon Rush here is actually fairly accessible, so that is absolutely amazing. I applaud Polarium for not making this particularly rough. As we've got here, we've got, you need 6 to 7 sacreds. I mean, if I'm going to pull 7 of them here. When I say if I'm going to pull, I'm going to pull. You're watching a video for Sholen Shards. I'm going to pull. I'm not going to rug pull you on that one. But one of the things I do have to think about is, am I going for these Twisted Horns right here for an additional, well, let's see, if I'm already going to here's 7. So that would be another 5 sacreds and just some cleanup shards of some kind, which would be fine. I'm tempted. The reason I think I'm probably not going to do that is if we go to the relic crafting here, we can look at the chances, and it's just chances of pulling anything with the legendary, a 60% chance of pulling an epic, and a 40% chance of a legendary, and a 0.5% chance of mythical. So I only got a 40% chance of a legendary if I do it. Now we're running out of time to do some of those, and I could certainly use more legendary relics, but I'm talking about a 40% chance. And honestly, what I think I need to do is I think I'm probably going to have to save some of these shards. Now we've got 15 of them here, and let me move my camera and we'll talk a little bit more about shard pulls. So as far as the champions are concerned, there's a lot of really good options. Duchess is a great option. I've got 2 of them already. Pythion is a great option. I have 2 of them already. I've got a Glyciad. He's a good champion. I wouldn't necessarily mind empowering him because he's very helpful, but honestly, he lives solely in my nightmare team for Chimera. And maybe a second one would be okay. Elva, I love my Elva. I've got a couple of Elvas. I wouldn't mind empowering my Elva because she is a key component of my current team in Chimera as well. I don't have a Pravia. Pravia is an interesting option. She brings some interesting stuff to her in her kit. She's got the single target revive here, but it's a very good single target revive, fully resets cooldowns. Got some healing here as well with increased defense and increased speed. Might make her a little better in Faction Wars hard than Duchess necessarily, just especially if the AI is a little better. Plus she does a bunch of weird stuff with debuffs where she'll do some turn meter manipulation and move them around, help clean your team off, and she's got a nice 20% aura in all battles. It's really, really tempting. I think that probably, I'm going to go for the new one. I think getting a new champion would be kind of exciting on this account. And as far as these guys are concerned, I have so many +4 Ugos, I don't know what to do with them. I have not empowered a Rector, and I have not empowered a Tagore. Of those 2, Rector's the one I use a little more often, and I'll admit that's probably just because I have always been fond of Rector because she's one of the first epics I had in my account, and she has just done a lot of heavy lifting, so I'll empower a Rector, and she deserves it. But a Tagore empowered would be good as well. Tagore has been usable for me for several of the floors for Centranos as well. So I am at 12 into Mercy, so these are all going to be Mercy pulls. And we're going to pull 7 of these bad boys because 7 is going to get me, beyond where I need, plus it's going to get me the extra Soul Stone, which is absolutely great. If I get a legendary, I may rethink the relic thing. If I don't get a legendary, I am going to hold on to my Mercy for dear life because there might be another progressive that might have a much better champion that I'm more interested in that I could then pull for, or maybe I'll pull for a 1+1 and try my luck there. So but again, legendaries are always cool, so we'll see what goes on with this, and if, we'll pull 7 and see what happens, and maybe I'll go to 12, but I think I'm going to try to save up some of these sacreds for other events as well, especially if I can get a guaranteed champion. I'm sure there's more events coming up, obviously not for the current Chaos Awakes, but I'm sure there are going to be some other, collabs, other, just events. We're going to have another regular event of some kind probably after this one, because I think Polarium realizes that these events that we are running for this pinpoint gear are, popular enough that they're going to keep that dungeon open as much as they possibly can. So let's get to pulling. So cheers. We have got Pepsi as always, not a sponsor, but Pepsi, you could be. Just think about it. So let's get pulling. That is a rain beast. He is not very good. Just, you don't want to build this champion. Don't do it. Used to be amazing, but he got nerfed because he was so good. Balf is pretty cool. Balf has got the double hit heal reduction, so that can be usable on Fire Knight if you're struggling on Fire Knight, because the heal reduction means that the Fire Knight can't heal himself, so even if he gets the shield up, he doesn't heal himself, which is great. AoE decrease attack, increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. That can be very useful in some of the Wixwell teams. And removes 2 random debuffs from all allies and heals them by 10% of their max HP. Very, very solid skill. It's only 2 debuffs, but honestly, some of these are only 1 debuff. So the fact that it's a 2 debuff is great. Increase accuracy is pretty solid. And then decrease the damage of all allies received from poisons by 50%. So can actually be very good for progression in Hydra, actually, because you get a lot of poison damage in Hydra too. So all of these things would work particularly well in Hydra. I guess the heal reduction is not super amazing in Hydra, but everything else be very nice to have around in Hydra. Even's got a usable HP aura in all battles. So that is 2. We're let's see if we can get something cool. Dalaja, not too bad. She can counterattack with other lizardmen. I guess she can be okay in some of the secret rooms. She is more of an epic for the Mikage fusion. Definitely like the look of this champion though. She's pretty cool. So, all right, come on Pepsi, come on Polarium. Let's get something cool. Lady Atessa is not something cool. There we go. Oh, Shiramani. Ugh. All right, Shiramani. I don't want to say she's absolutely terrible, but she's not great. Shiramani is an old school champion. You can definitely tell by the look. She looks, there's a couple other champions that look very similar to her with the same stance and almost the same kit that are palette swaps. So you've got some of that going for her that's already not great in the first place. A1 freeze, 3 attacks at random, 25% chance for freeze. To be fair, if you are desperate for Fire Knight hard, 3 times 25%, it's okay. But there are epics with better A1s for Fire Knight than Shiramani's is right here. Croydian is a good example. Neldor, another good example. There's a couple of good epics that have a better A1 than her for Fire Knight, so you're already not doing particularly well. Heals a single ally by 50% and other allies by 20% of their max HP. This is a chunky heal. Now, it is their max HP, but it's still 50%, so it's a 50% heal, so that's pretty huge. Place a continuous heal buff on for 2 turns on targets with full HP. It seems so weird. Why don't just put him on everybody? If this put him on everybody, this skill would be so much better. The fact that it's only on champions that are maxed, that are fully healed, makes that continuous heal not super useful. I mean, I guess if they take more damage afterwards, then it can be okay, but it's just not great. And the fact that it's conditional, it basically, are the people topped up? Then they get more healing. Are they not topped up? Then they don't get more healing. That just doesn't make any sense. That's just very counterintuitive for what a heal should be. And then finally, AoE freeze, guaranteed if you book it, 4-turn cooldown. It's a legendary. You can do better. You've got people with 3-turn stuns in legendaries now. Just make this a 3-turn cooldown. You make this a 3-turn cooldown. You make this not conditional anymore. And suddenly Shiramani is a usable, for progression, legendary. Right now, she's not worth building. I wouldn't build her. I think this is a duplicate. I don't know if this is a duplicate or not. We'll check my faction guardians after we finish pulling some shards, but we should have, we'll check that quickly. We should have, I believe, 2 more shards. Stop it. I don't need stuff. 2 more shards to pull, and I need to check the right type of event. Yep, we need 2 more shards to pull. So let us pull 2 more shards. Well, that popped our that popped our legendary stuff. So, you know what? I'm going to hold firm on that. I'm going to hold on to my shards for the time being and not go for the relics because I think the relic chance is just not high enough for me to waste shards on when I could possibly get a guaranteed legendary some other time as well. So we're going to hold on to some shards and pack a bunch of these things in and see if I can stockpile some sacreds. But we're going to pull 2 more shards first. So maybe I can get a second legendary. That would be good. Mordecai, one of the OG burners. He is so good early on, mostly because he places this burn, so he cannot weak hit. So you can always get 3% resisted, but you can never get weak hit, which means he is a universal burner with this. And in Hydra, he can actually place this burn through poison clouds because he places it, so he doesn't have the weak hit chance at all, which can make him pretty useful as well. It's only a 4-turn cooldown, which is a little annoying, but overall he's not too bad. Got the turn meter boost and turn meter decrease as well. He's going to have the accuracy because you need it for the burns. And then finally, turn meter decrease on here. That's a 60% chance, bookable to 75% chance if they're under HP burn. You know, is he the best epic in the game? No, but he's a very usable, good epic early on. So if you need an HP burner, you could do worse than a Mordecai. Come on, final shard. And that is a hippo. We have Hoffreeze the Tusk. I just actually dropped a video, well, today as I was filming this thing on Friday, where I talked about the Rare Reviver Tolog. And I like the Rare Reviver Tolog better than Hoffreeze, but Hoffreeze isn't too bad. Hoffreeze brings you the increased attack and increased crit rate, which can be helpful to just increasing your damage in general on a 3-turn cooldown. 2 random allies, 50% HP and 50% turn meter is serviceable. You get strengthened on all allies when you do it as well. That is actually kind of helpful. So from a revive standpoint, this revive is pretty solid. I think where Hoffreeze is let down is this doesn't feel like a support revive skill. This feels more of offensive skill, but I'd rather have turn meter rather than the increased crit rate, or crit damage rather than the increased crit rate, just because the increased crit rate means I either have to build a bunch of champions with less than 100% crit rate, or it only helps the champions I wasn't building for damage in the first place, both of which are not great options. So I'm not a huge fan of this skill. And then an A1 stun, but it's the only thing that requires accuracy. You're talking about a 30% chance. It is each hit, so a 30% chance on each hit's not as horrible as it could be, but I would rather, early on, I'm not going to build the accuracy because I would much rather have a much tankier reviver, and later on, I'm going to have a better reviver most likely. So not a huge fan of Hoffreeze, but that is what it is. So we've got the event done. We are all the way up here, so I can grab all of this stuff here, and yeah. I'm feeling better and better about not going for these things here. I mean, it was very tempting because I don't have a lot of the legendary, or I definitely don't have a mythical relic, so that would be kind of nice as well. But it doesn't feel very worth it for me. These chickens aren't going to help me too much. It's a single tome that would be not bad, but I don't need it. I've got plenty of barrels, so these rewards don't feel great for 5 sacreds, and I think I would much rather save them for something that's going to be just a little bit better. I'll save the energy for something else as well. And as I mentioned before, we're going to check and see where my high elves are. That was a new Shiramani. I did not realize I had never had a Shiramani before, so that is a brand new Shiramani. That's kind of cool. So hey, she's not a great champion, but she's new, which is something, I guess. You know, I don't get a lot of new champions. You can see I've got not a lot of champions missing from my repertoire of champions here. So hopefully your shard pulls went well. Hopefully you got some great champions. You know, hopefully it was raining legendaries for you, or at least useful epics for you. Let me know what you got in the comments below. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. And, you know, I'm looking forward to doing some fun stuff with Shayak and the Doggo. So, you know, let me know how you're doing in the shard pulls before. Hey, let me know if there's some videos you'd love to see from me as well. I love making videos that you guys request. I have pushed to continue to do that, and it's always kind of fun if there's something you guys are questioning on Raid, curious about, want me to cover that I have not covered. You know, I love making videos for you guys because that's part of being the community. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's you know, let's have a wonderful day, and until the next video, I am Bront CatHerder.